He'll turn back. Back door. Hanu! He scores! It's over! It's over! Game 7! Overtime!
Well, I think it's going to be really special for our fans. I think the length of time between years to be able to start the season with a banner, I think is a great accomplishment. But to put 4 up is really special. We expect a full building. We have the new lights this year. We've got the new video board in. I think the energy is going to be fantastic, and we're excited about defending that cup as a team, as a group, and using it throughout the year. The guys understand, there's a target. Well, we have 4 overage defensemen, which is unique, I guess. Unfortunately, we started later for a few reasons. So 2 of our guys, or 3 of them, were off to pro camps. So we really haven't had a lot of in-house competition. I think we all know our guys very well. Our guys are, for them, I don't know if they see it so much as competition as just an opportunity to spend some time together. And they all understand the scenario where they all can't stay, but we'll let it sort itself out. Effective of this interview, Max Martin's on his way back, so that's 2 in-house. And until we get the Magic 4, we'll have some discussions with teams, but we won't do anything. We won't lock anything down. I'd like to see our team, score by committee. I think with Caden Gooley taking a step, coming into his second year, going through the experience he does, he's a guy we're going to lean on the back end to help generate offense. We had a late signing in defenseman Landon Kosier. We think he's going to help us generate some offense from the back end. Well, until we get to the to games and how the coaches decide they want to split the pairs up. As you mentioned, the 20-year-olds are going to take a big bite of ice. But Caden's a guy, for anyone who was able to watch some of the under-18 Hlinka championships, he was a big-minute player. He's just a tremendous skater. He can play any way you want to play it. He can play physical. He can play offensive. He can play speed. He can control the pace. As I mentioned, we expect him to take some huge strides this year. And, I just, when we watch him in camp, he could easily be a 20-plus minute guy, night after night. And then up front, probably Cole Fonstad's the most notable forward, the Montreal draft pick. We're expecting a big year from Cole. We're expecting a big year from Justin Nockbar. You mentioned Spencer Moe. Those 3 19-year-olds now, they're all 3-4 years into the league, and they need to pick up the leadership hole that's left by the overages and the centermen and Kelly and Leeson, and those guys are going to have to lead the way. We've got some tremendous young talent in our O2 group with, as you mentioned, Ozzy and Brooksy, a couple guys part of the Canada program in the summer, and coming off, I thought, real good 16-year-old years. We expect those guys to contribute as well. And then probably finally, is Alex Protas. Probably surprised the hockey world with a 3rd-round selection to Washington. But he's a big, long guy. He was a huge factor for us in the Edmonton series, and we expect him just to get better as the year goes on. Well, we brought in Boston for a couple reasons. One, we love the age. I think we got lucky in the fact that Edmonton has an excess of guys, and it just became a numbers game for him. Boston's, we think, a big, capable goalie. He's had a tremendous training camp. He's backed that up, at least, again, at the time of this interview, with 2 real good efforts in goal and 1 goal win. So he's, felt a little bit of pressure in terms of extra attackers and playing at home and on the road. So, he's the guy that's probably earned the start right now. We have Brett Vallis, who's seasoned in as a Calgary Canuck last year, spent some time with us, and then we've had a great push from Carter Serienko. Came out of North Battleford, Midget AAA. Another big, agile goalie, we feel has come into camp and played extremely well. So we're going to let the cards just fall where they may, and we feel confident in the guys that are in the system right now. Ivan's I guess a flash and dash type player. It's going to take some time for him to adjust to the North American game. I was really pleased with his exhibition in terms of not so much production, but showing a little bit of willingness and some fearlessness in terms of engaging as a younger player would have to as they make the transition into the Western Hockey League. There's some big, strong players. We played two division rivals in Saskatoon and Moose Jaw twice. The games have a physical element, and Ivan, he was, part of that physicality. He played through it, and we think as he gets more and more comfortable and gets used to the pace, he'll be able to contribute as well. Well, the three guys in terms of, maybe four that come to mind starting in the back end would be Kosier. Well, maybe five. I've got young Nolan Allen, who was our third overall pick 2 years ago as a 16-year-old. Nolan's a terrific young player. Just great poise, beautiful skater. We think he's going to have a breakout year. Landon Kosier, a little bit unknown, was a list. Played with Tisdale, was the MVP of the TELUS regional tournament they hosted, and a big part of their success advancing to the TELUS Cup. And then up front, as you mentioned, Connor Selesky, a first-round pick. Maybe hadn't caught his stride yet, but he's a tremendous skater, got a great release. We're looking for him to step in, contribute. Evan Herman's had a tremendous training camp. We had a lot of high picks in that 02 year. He's been able to step in, utilize his speed, and generate some offense. And as we mentioned, Ketchkin, I think as we get closer to Christmas and he gets more and more confident, comfortable, he's a guy that you could see have a really good year as well. Well, I think if you look at our division over the last little while, and I think Winnipeg's maybe the wild card because we haven't seen them enough, but we know they have some very good young talent. That being said, we saw the balance of power last year take a shift from the south to the north, and including the team an hour down the road from us. We think they're going to have a very good club, obviously led by Kirby Dach. You saw the impact he made at the NHL draft. If he returns, that'll be the team, at least I think in our division, that has poised at least right now. That being said, we have a tremendous rivalry with them, and there's no gimmies anywhere you go. So we're excited about those battles ahead, and we feel we're in the mix to get in the postseason, and we're in the mix to have a very good competitive year this year. And we're excited about, as I mentioned, defending that title.